Nancy. I think I saw Crystal here. We're having some people join. Okay, first of all, I can't even believe that it's already time to go back to school. So I don't know how you guys are feeling out there. Today is my second day with students, and let me tell you, I was telling Nancy earlier, I feel like I need toothpicks to keep my eyes open. I'm beyond exhausted. Funny thing, I only have 10 students, and not so funny because we're gonna end up with more kids bust in if I don't get more students, but we'll see how that goes. But I am definitely feeling that kinder drain. I don't know if there's anyone else out there who's a kinder teacher, but I don't know how I forget every year. I think it's kind of like childbirth. I forget those first couple weeks, months where, man, we are really digging deep to be able to start off the year. And of course, I'm starting off strong with whole brain teaching. I wouldn't have it any other way, but it's just those kinks at the beginning of the year where you say, when I say class, you say yes, and their eyes are just glazed over. And sometimes I'll say class and they say class back to me. So today was day 2. It's a little bit better, but we're still pretty rough over here. So I got a few that are here with me. I'd like to jump in and just get started. I'm Andrea Schindler, Whole Brain Teaching. If for those of you who have never heard of Whole Brain Teaching, you definitely want to go to the Whole Brain Teaching website, www.wholebrainteaching.com. You'll get tons of information and tons of freebies and wonderful things that Coach B puts his heart and soul in. Yes, Nancy, that's right. Slow and steady is the pace. So I'm here with you guys today. I don't know if you are all starting off your year already, or if you guys are starting in a few weeks, but I thought it might be nice for me to check in with you and just chat with you a little bit on how do we start this year off with whole brain teaching. So I'm going to take these next few Tuesdays to kind of talk about what does it look like to start off your year with whole brain teaching. So I'm going to be moving around my classroom. I realized that probably the best thing I could have done would be to get one of those annoying selfie sticks. I'm sorry if you own a selfie stick out there. I'm sure you're really good with your selfie stick. I just know those things can kind of get in the way sometimes. But I kind of feel like right now would be a great selfie stick day so that I could hold you guys back a little bit and show you guys my classroom, but I don't own one. So that's my bad. I should have one. But I'm going to get up. I'm going to walk around. I hope you guys don't get dizzy. I hope you don't get nauseous. And I'm thankful that you're here with me to just kind of take a look at what's going on inside my classrooms, inside my classroom, which is going to be evident in other whole brain teaching classrooms, because here's one really good thing about this community. We share everything. And so things in my classroom are different whole brain teaching pieces and tools that have been shared with me that I'm now passing on to you. So why don't we get up and we'll have a little look. I started out here with a list because if I don't make a list, I probably will forget something. So let's take a look here. So here is our starting off the year with whole brain teaching. Mighty Oh Yeah. I'm throwing in that Mighty Oh Yeah because I'm really wanting to feel it right now. First thing on that list is to get your hands on the copy of Whole Brain Teaching, Chris Biffle, Coach B, brand new book, The Fast Track. Okay? Here's the thing, this Fast Track, I don't get money from this book, okay, but this is the new Fast Track, and I gotta tell you, it's a fast read. I read it on the airplane. Wonderful read, but it's going to tell you and fill you in about a lot of new things. Here's one thing about whole brain teaching. Isn't it great, Crystal? I love this book. So good. Here's the thing about whole brain teaching. Because it's not outside consultants, coming in from the outside, because we're in the classroom doing this. It's constantly evolving, constantly getting better, being refined, and so anything new, like the latest and greatest, is in this fast track book. So if you haven't gotten this book, get your fast track book, okay? So that's first on your list, because you're gonna want to read about some of the new changes, especially with this awesome peregrine falcon super improver team that I'm going to be showing you very, very shortly. So that's first up. Highly suggest get your hands on a copy of the new Whole Brain Teaching Fast Track book. And now we're going to talk about room setup, okay? And your dear little rocket over here, I goofed because this rules right here, I really feel like needs to be here at the top of the list. But I'm going to go through this list and kind of walk around my classroom and show you how it's organized and what's up with all these areas. So first up on this list is going to be rules. We're going to go from the rules to the peregrine falcon display to the super improver team wall. So let me this way. Now, here's one thing about a good classroom. You guys know this better than I do probably, but it's got to be visually stimulating in your classroom, but you also want to be super organized and keep things in different teaching areas. So in this area over here, I've learned this over time that you want to up and ready to go. So here is an area of the classroom where my kids walk in the door and they come over, and if you look right here, you can see I've got a copy of our rules, which are available on the Whole Brain Teaching website. I've got all my rules. They're on my tongue depressors, and they are laminated and ready to go. I also have the rules posted up. We'll be showing you momentarily, but let me tell you the beauty of having them on these tongue depressors. When you have the rules on the tongue depressors, you can hold up the rule, call out the rule number, and the students can do the appropriate gesture. So here's rule 1, and the students say, follow directions quickly. I can hold up my rule 2, and the students will say, raise your hand for permission to speak. So I love them on my tongue depressors. The great thing about having them on the tongue depressors is you can mix them up. You can do them out of order, and they're great for student leaders. So once student leaders are leading the kids, the rest of the students in the classroom with the rules, they get to stand up, they get to hold these rule cards up, and the cool thing about these, they get to make choices. So what kind of choices might they make? I know my students love to decide, am I going to use a funny voice today? Am I going to use a princess voice today? Am I going to use a regular voice today? Another thing they do too is, am I going to do the rules in order or mixed up? Oh, that's a big choice. So I've got my rules over here, and they're ready to go, and they're very portable, so I can carry them around with me. Now, as I've said, if you've seen me here before, or if you've seen a conference, our whole brain teaching concept of rules is because they become embedded in your class. So they're not just going to be a poster that gets dusty and stays up on the wall in your classroom. You're going to use them in your classroom all day long. So you want to be able to have a portable version of those rule cards, whether you put a hole punch in it and you hold them up and you have them with a ring binder, but have it very, very portable and versatile. All right, so we're going to move over to another part of my room because I want to show you guys my peregrine falcon display, okay? If you haven't heard about the peregrine falcon display, that's where you're going to want to check out that fast track. Go on the Whole Brain Teaching website, get the book. It's fantastic. But you're going to look up here at the top of my room. This is what I'm talking about, this awesome Whole Brain Teaching community. I'm fairly certain these animals are the animals that Stephanie Meter, she shared these with us. I have used hers. And then Heidi Martin has put the little dots in between, which shows how fast the animals go. So we're going to take a look. If you look up at the top of my classroom, we're going to start over here. Here is turtle slow. Now, if you notice, the miles between turtle slow and penguin slow is 5, so there's 5 dots. So we're just going to kind of take a look at this peregrine falcon display. And I'm going to be joining you. This is the first time we've started with peregrine falcon display at the beginning of the school year. So these next few weeks, as I come on, I'm going to talk to you about how I'm rolling out Peregrine Falcon and how this display is being used in my class. But you can see, I do, yes, we are Common Core Math. And I'm moving along here, and we end over here with our Peregrine Falcon right here. All right, so our Peregrine Falcon is tied in with my Super Improver team. So here's our Super Improver team over here, and you can see all of my students started out on white, which is our turtle level right here. So we go from white turtle, purple penguin, I go on up, then we move on up to red hawk, bronze hawk, silver hawk, gold hawk, good old diamond hawk, and then we're going to shoot for the stars over here, and we've got our Peregrine Falcon, who is our holographic blue star. So this is that Super Improver team, and it ties in with this Peregrine Falcon display. There's a set of the rules up on the wall. Up there it says, did Ms. Schindler catch you improving today? And this Peregrine Falcon display goes all the way across the top of my classroom. Again, those dots represent 1 mile. So between these different animals in the Peregrine Falcon display, there's different miles. So here, for example, from that turtle to that penguin is 5. If I come over here, from panda to wolf, we have 10. If I come over here, from tiger to cheetah, it's 20, so there's 20 dots. Now look over here, from that marlin on over to that red hawk, that's 40. So there's 40 dots there zigzagging around the room. So there's my Peregrine Falcon display. So let's take a look over here. And for setup, remember, we want to start out with, I started you off with the rules here. Make sure you've got your rules. If you can have them where they're portable and they can move around the classroom, that's going to work for the year, for your whole school year. You can move around the classroom and you can do a rules call out very easy. We also went over our Peregrine Falcon display and our Super Improver wall. So let's talk about the scoreboard, okay? So be that tool that we're going to use all year long, and we're going to use it for whole group motivation. It has infinite levels, more information in the fast track, and there's more information on the Whole Brain Teaching website. But like I said earlier, what I've learned from really great teachers out there is that organization is everything. So I'm going to show you my scoreboard and show you how it's very portable, but how I keep things organized so that I'm not searching for, okay guys, I don't know if anyone else out there does this, but I put my markers down. I will set them down somewhere, and then I can't find them when I need them. So this is kind of how I have saved myself. You guys probably are experts and knew this already, but this has really helped me out. My main teaching areas up here in the front. Good old calendar over here. If anyone out there has their calendar set up in their room, if you teach kinder. But over here, I have my scoreboard. Okay, now my scoreboard is portable. So at the beginning of the day, and we're at the beginning of the school year, so we're doing smileys versus saddies. Today was day 2, so we were working on following directions quickly. So of course I got to show off my Peregrine Falcon display, and so we are working on wolf versus penguin. Now the morning is the practice round, and after we come back from recess, that's when the real game starts, because let's face it guys, the hardest part is the end of the day. So this is my end of the day score that we will count tomorrow to see if we have a class win. Now if you notice, I have, yes, right, Crystal? So this scoreboard is going to move with me. And what I did was I bought, this is like a library book holder. I've got it set up here so I can just sit my scoreboard right here. And I have my basket that has my markers and my eraser here. Another area that I teach from often, over here where my book display is, I might be reading a book here. If I need my scoreboard here, I've got it here. But here's the thing. This has a marker holder, and I would love to say that I remember to put my marker in there every time. I don't. So what do I have? Right back behind here, I've got my basket that has my expo markers. Okay, these are things that I'm sure all of you out there are saying, you're such an amateur. I knew these things already. But these are little tips that I'm giving you because I had to learn the hard way. And then over here, back to the front of the classroom where we start off our day, is where I've got this whiteboard. Our class wins is where I'm going to put, is on this whiteboard. This is where I put our class wins. I've got my scoreboard right here. I've got another one of these book holders here to hold my scoreboard. And again, I've got my basket here. My basket has my markers in it. And it has this wonderful microphone. Now, if anyone joined me last outs, so as soon as I start teaching some whole brain teaching strategies, I use this microphone for rapid call outs. So how do I do those rapid call outs? I say class, and I hold out, they say yes, class, yes, class, yes, class, yes. They know mirror words, so I just say mirror words. They say mirror words, mirror words, mirror words, mirror words, mirror words. I say please. They say okay. So I use this microphone for my rapid call outs. It's for rapid practice. And let's face it, the kinders need a lot more rapid practice in short increments because they've never heard of anything like this before, and it kind of blows their mind. So we're moving on over to our chart. So far we've talked about the rules, we've talked about our scoreboard, but what else do we need to remember when we're setting up our room? Well, if you're really wanting to kick it off with whole brain teaching, the next thing I would look at is the Power Picks walls. So I have a language arts wall, I've got a math wall, you might have a science wall, you might have a social studies wall, but I have got my language arts and my math wall. So I'm gonna walk over there. Let me grab a couple of these Power Picks. We've got language arts, we've got math, and they look like this, available on the website. But if you take a look in my room, I'm gonna turn you over. I hope that didn't make you dizzy, but here is the language arts wall. Here is our math wall. And so throughout the year, as I teach a concept, these are clearly end of the year concepts that were on the top from when I took them down at the end of the year last year. I've got question mark. Once I teach what a question mark is, I'm going to post it on this wall, on my language arts wall. It's great for quick review and critical thinking. All right, over here, here's my math wall. Here's my addition card that I would put up on the wall once I've taught the concept of addition. If you're interested in these Power Picks, they are available on the website. And I will show you, if you take a look, the great thing about these wonderful Power Picks is they have a question, they have an answer. It comes with a gesture suggestion, and if you print out the back side, it actually gives you a 5-step lesson. If the lesson is already written from you, feel free to use that lesson or any lesson that you come up with. But sometimes we're looking for ideas for gestures, or I don't really know how to teach this concept, or give me an idea, or just make it a little bit easier for me. And the Whole Brain Teaching website with the Power Picks really helps with that. So from that, we've got our Biffy tune wall. Now, if you're a lower grade teacher and you use the Biffy tunes, you're going to want to have a Biffy tune wall. My Biffy tune wall is currently covered up a little bit because we start out at the beginning of the year reviewing our colors and our shapes. But this is actually the wall that I use for my Biffy tunes. In about 2 weeks, all those characters with the colors and all those shapes will come down, and I will start teaching my high frequency words. I'm kindergarten. The Biffy tunes are the words from the Dolch and the Fry list. It's the first 42. I know Coach is working on getting up the first 100. So these are really good for K and first. Biffy tunes, here's the Biffy tune. The first one that I'll teach is the word I, and this. Okay, it has a picture and a gesture that goes with it. It goes posted on my Biffy Tunes wall, so I'll show you how that works. If I go over to this wall right here, I post it here, not on the animal. Again, the animal would be gone, but my Biffy tune goes right here. Okay, So I've got it all ready to go. It's my first set of words. It's my purple word. And you have heard this way we sing spell it. We sing spell it like this. So I would say uppercase I, that spells I, that spells I. Uppercase I, that spells I, that spells I. Anyway, we have, I teach 42 of the words, so we break them down into all 6 levels of the rainbow. But once the kids have mastered the purple words, so here is, once they've mastered all the purple words, we just take down the word with the picture, and instead I replace it. There's my next purple word ready to go. I replace it with the word without the picture. And we still sing spell it. So there we go. You could absolutely point whichever way you want. I don't know if that would confuse them on the spelling of EYE. The reason why we do I like this is because that's what the Biffy dog is doing. So, but the one good thing about whole brain teaching is that we say that it's your, and that way you can use your own gestures or whatever things that you feel most comfortable with. But the great thing about whole brain teaching is it's a ton of free resources, and you can kind of decide which resources you like, which ones you want to tweak, and which ones you want to adapt for yourself. So just know that those Biffy tune words are available on the Whole Brain Teaching website, and everything is free. So let's move on down this long room, and we're moving on down here. We've talked about setting up our peregrine falcon display, our super improvers wall, our scoreboard areas, our power pick walls, our Biffy tune words wall, so our alpha hawk. Now those of you who aren't familiar with alpha hawk, again, check out the Whole Brain Teaching website, or again, check out Coach's new book, The Fast Track, because it's going to talk to you all about Alpha Hawk. But I need a place to be able to display our Alpha Hawk pictures. So over here on my Super Improver team wall, I have my Alpha Hawk display. So our Alpha Hawk display is going to be where we're going to be posting our Alpha Hawk pictures on Alpha Hawk Monday. And if there's areas that I'm talking about that you guys are not familiar with, or you haven't heard about, you want to check out the new book. But I'm also going to be talking about teaching editions throughout the year, so check in on our Periscopes, and I'll talk about how these Alpha Hawk Mondays are going, how rolling out the Peregrine Falcon display is going. Anything new WBT, we're going to be talking about it each week. So, all right, let's take a look. Here's our handy checklist over here. And next on our checklist is GKA. So what is GKA? GKA is Glorious Kindness Academy. So you're going to want either wall or space or just somewhere in your room where you're going to be able to post up everything going on with your GKA. So I'm going to walk over here and show you what I did. Okay, I'm going to be, guys, this is why all teachers, we're all a little different. This wall may not jive with you. I'm a pretty bright, sparkly, happy type person, and this wall is pretty busy. So I'm just gonna let you guys know this is a pretty busy wall over here. But this is just the way I have done it. You do it the way that you see best. But over here, underneath my power, I have my Glorious Kindness and Character Virtues wall. So over here I've got our character traits: glorious kindness, leadership, courage, invincible grit, creativity. Again, those character virtues are on our Whole Brain Teaching website. We intentionally teach all of these character virtues, and we do a different character virtue every day of the week. So Monday we work on glorious kindness, Tuesday we work on leadership, Wednesday we work on courage, Thursday we work on invincible grit, and Friday we're going to work on a little bit of creativity. But so that I could become more intentional, because here's the thing, guys. If you're paying attention to what's going on with Whole Brain in this last year, there's a lot of additions. There's a lot of new things, a lot of really great things, but I've got to be able to remember them. So I'm not going to remember them unless I'm intentional about posting them up in my room, which is the reason why I had that Alpha Hawk Monday wall set up so that I don't forget to start my Alpha Hawk Mondays. But Glorious Kindness Academy. With Glorious Kindness Academy, we're going to be coming up with a new focus every week for how to show glorious kindness. So I knew I needed to be intentional with that. So here is where I'm going to post those ideas. And this is going to help me to be very intentional with my Glorious Kindness Academy this year. Again, this is not the only... My wall is a little too spastic. I totally understand. But this is one way to get those character virtues up in your room and to become very intentional about your Glorious Kindness Academy. So we're moving on down the list, and we're almost to the bottom, guys. So hang in there. Here we go. Our list is our games list. Okay, so what are we talking about with our games list? Well, our games, a class schedule. But remember, with whole brain teaching, we want to gamify everything. We want to gamify education. So we have our games list. And over here, I have, and I can see the light in here is making it a little bit difficult to read, but we have our games list, okay? So the games we played today was our coming in the door routine, our scoreboard, our character virtue, our morning routine. These are the things that we are working on. And we took the attendance. Now, in addition to the different games list, we also have the scoreboard, the rules. And if you look over here, these are different strategies that I'm working on throughout the year. I'm working on class yes. At the beginning of the year, we're working on 2 grade levels higher. Towards the middle of the year, we might be working on red level, which is about 3 grade levels higher. And I'm working on incorporating the peregrine falcon lamb with that, because today we talked about not just 2 grade levels higher, but how about wolf speed? So this is a wolf speed class, yes. Over here, we're probably going to be maybe talking about maybe a black marlin speed class, yes. So here's our games list. It keeps us on track with the strategies that we're using for the school year. And we call it a games list because it makes it more fun. So we're walking over here and we're winding down. And as we're finishing our year list of how to get your room ready, we're going to end with our SEA, our student engagement average. So for our student engagement average, if I have this Excel sheet that is set up already on my computer, I got to delete out last year's scores because I want to be ready every Friday to put in my student engagement average. Well, here's what it looked like last year. Okay? So if you take a look, these are my last year's students, and this is how they are ranked as either a 4, a 3, a 2, a 1, a 0, or if they finally become a class leader and they're teaching lessons to the class, they get bumped up to a 5. I input these scores into my Excel spreadsheet, and this is the way I'm able to keep track of my student engagement average. So finishing up, how are we going to start off our year with whole brain teaching? These are the checklist items that you're going to want to cover when you're setting up your classroom. Again, if you can, get your hands on the copy of that Fast Track book, Coach B's Fast Track. If not, check out the website, because there is a section on the website all about the Fast Track. And here are some things that you want to include in your classroom. You're going to want to set up your peregrine falcon display, your super improvers wall, have some scoreboards. A portable scoreboard is going to be essential. Your power pick walls, your biffy tune word wall, Alpha Hawk, if you can put it in a wall, a space, a chart paper, whatever works best. Your GKA, Glorious Kindness Academy, wall, space, an area in your room. You're going to want to have rules posted in your room, but also portable so that you can carry them around the class to do rule call out. Your games list, which is going to gamify your day, and get your student engagement average sheet ready to go so we can start looking at students and how to move them up to the next level. Woo! that was a lot, and hopefully I haven't overwhelmed you, but I hope to get a hold of you before you start the school year so you can start thinking about these areas of your classroom and how you want to amp up your classroom this year and make it all things whole brain teaching. So I will be back next week, and when I'm here, I will be back here at 4 o'clock Pacific time, and I'm going to talk about how do we roll out the school year. So what do we start with first? A lot of times in conferences, we hear from teachers who say, I love whole brain teaching. What do I start with first? So I'm going to talk about how do we start our school year with whole brain teaching. So I thank you guys for being here today. Thank you for joining me. I'm Andrea Schindler, Whole Brain Teaching. Check out the Whole Brain Teaching website for more information, especially if when I was reading that list of whole brain teaching strategies and tools that you want to have set up in your classroom. If you didn't know about any of them, all the information is available on the website and of course in Coach B's new book. So I will see you all next week, and thanks for being here. Bye everybody.